for being here today as we launch a very exciting initiative between the University of Texas here in Austin, the athletics program, and the Austin Independent School District. Over the years, UT has been a great supporter of our district, and this is just one more part of our relationship that will add to that legacy. The initiative that I'm referring to is the AISD Attendance Incentive Program in collaboration with UT to promote and improve health and wellness with our staff, and also improve and reward excellent attendance of our staff members. I look forward to all the positive impacts that this relationship will bring, but I'm most grateful for the talented UT staff that helped us work out these details, both on our AISD team and the UT Athletics Department. Before I go into the details of the program, I want to give you some background on how all of this came about. As you know, or perhaps maybe you didn't, our district has been working very hard to literally wage a campaign on student attendance. Student attendance is critical for the success of our kids. Research shows that kids who come to school every day, then go to class every day, and do their homework every day are more likely to graduate on time and even go to college and finish college. And with that in mind, since I've been the superintendent for the last 3 years, we've been really focused on student achievement and student attendance, and that has paid off in both achievement gains and in our ability to be able to generate more resources for our school district, given the way the state funds attendance here in Texas. But since initiating that campaign called Every Day Counts, in 2010, we have seen our student attendance increase. And with those increases, I'll be able to outline for you numbers that are relevant for the students. But for the purposes of today, it is really the staff piece that we wanted to take on as the next part of our attendance campaign. We see that our staff is a valuable asset in ensuring that kids stay excited about school, that they also provide supports as caring adults in their lives, and most importantly, know the kind of content they need to have at the secondary level and in preparation for college and careers. So when our staff is in attendance and you match the student attendance with the staff, there's far more instructional contact time between those two groups that really make a difference for the student. So it's really important that all staff members, not just teachers, are excited about being in school every day. Bus drivers, for example, are the first adults in our school system that see kids when they come into school. They get on the buses. They are the first face of AISD that they see, even when we're not doing teaching time, when they're in the cafeteria or walking down the halls with custodians and cafeteria workers. This is all part of what makes the magic happen in a good school environment, a positive school environment for kids. So we were very proud to introduce the new attendance program that would recognize and reward that kind of excellence in our staff attendance. To borrow a line from our partners, we wanted our AISD team members to be healthy, to be here, and be hooked. During the course of the next school year, the university's athletics department has committed to providing approximately 15,000 vouchers to AISD employees. Each month, the staff will be awarded the vouchers for either perfect attendance or for meeting campus student attendance targets. Each voucher is good for 2 tickets, and among the highlights, UT will provide about 12,000 for soccer, 370 for volleyball, 1,400 for men's and women's basketball, and 1,100 for baseball and softball. I want to be clear that this program is not just about showing up, and obviously if AISD members are sick or need to take personal leave, we absolutely want them to do that, and we want so that they can ensure that our schools are healthy and they take the rest that they need to get well. But a huge objective for this program is to promote and foster healthy living for all AISD team members, whether it's through discounted exercise programs, suggesting healthy eating tips, or just creating a support network that encourages good health. I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage any other partners that may be interested in working with us to create similar incentive programs. But the University Athletics Program, under the leadership of DeLoss Dodds, has absolutely made this possible for us.
Good morning. I met Maria 3 years ago at an event at the Irwin Center. I believe it was a basketball game, a buffet. I didn't know her, she didn't know me. I was behind her, and I believe I encouraged her to move more quickly through the line. And after the dust had settled and the chairs and tables had been put back in place, and she had won convincingly, we've been friends ever since. And our staffs have worked often together on different projects, us learning from them learning from us. It's been a great relationship, and we appreciate it deeply. We're in the same business. We're in the kid business, young folks business, and it's an important business to be in, and we want to be as helpful as we can in this project. I think it's a good one. It's good for them. It's good for us, Maria, and thank you for all your help. She's a wonderful lady, and I can see why she's running a huge and successful school system. Chris?
I echo that, and obviously in our world we are always energized by people that show great passion for their work, and that was evident when we got around Maria and her staff. So dedicated. You know, in education the jobs are hard. It's a privilege to be educated, whether at the University of Texas or within the AISD, but it does start in the trenches, and having presence is a must. You can't compete unless you're present, accounted for, clear-minded, clear-eyed, and that's why this attendance incentive is really a base-level element, and it's a positive one, and she's already had tremendous response from her staff and the students for the program. The fact that we're able to, with our multitude of sports, and we run over 400 events a year here for UT, the fact that we're able to provide some goodwill and give back and some other opportunity in off hours for these individuals who dedicate their days to our young people in this community. We're just honored to do it. We're happy to do it. And again, this is two great teams working together.
Our student rate for us is around 95% or a little more than 95%. The staff rate is, when you break it down, hovers around the 90 to 95%, depending on the different level or department in the district. But the instructional piece, if you just focused on that, this is the basic math that I try to explain to people. If a kid, it doesn't sound bad, I have 90% attendance and the kid has 90% attendance. But when you match those two things together, that's actually at most 81%. You have an instructional contact time. That would be the most you would have. And then you start pulling out things like eating for lunch, or changing class, or you start pulling out the time. Even with pretty high attendance, you'll see that the amount of instructional time gets smaller and smaller. So ideally, what would happen is that everyone is more at a 98% attendance rate, both student and staff member, and that would help us do things like reduce the cost of substitutes. We spend upwards of, Michael Hauser, 14 million? How much? About 8 million for substitute teachers when teachers are out. We also have to replace bus drivers. There are some jobs that you actually have to have someone replace, so you end up paying double. For every 1 percentage point increase in student achievement that we that we're able to achieve, we generate about $4.6 million that goes into the general fund to support our schools. So if we had perfect attendance, we could generate upwards of $60 million for the school system. So it's when you start really thinking about the impacts of how the state funds kids, and kids are motivated by the adults, to be there too. It's not just the programming. All these things have to come together well. So Those are just some of the numbers and why they're important to us. We know that like our grounds workers, they help keep the school sites safe. You know, transportation, they're key to safety every day because they bring kids to and from school. But like I said, they're like the first adults that kids see, so they can help start off a day right or not. Having consistency and staffing, having the same faces, people that families trust and know, also helps bring more, you know, integrity and support to a school community.
What's the number of employees?
We have about 12,000 employees. About half are teachers, and the other half are all the support people and administrators. Administrators make a very small portion of that, like 2%. We have to work with students separately, as I understand it, and I think perhaps you can explain it. There are UIL and NCAA rules that prohibit us from giving the actual vouchers to children, but this is for the adults and schools. We do lots of other things to promote better student attendance in schools. We had not tracked it before, and that's a big part of us kind of coming to this. We were looking at the absentee rates of different groups. We had started off talking about teachers, and then we realized that teachers were doing pretty well. It was really when you were getting to some of the support staff that things you could see where we could get a big lift. And since that's almost half of our employees, we could see how this could really strengthen our teams across the entire system. We found that no other schools or systems had a program like this. So we were we're starting all this from scratch. I'm sure we'll learn some lessons from it. And we'll take that to think about how we work with other partners and how we improve our partnership with UT. But I don't think we found another school system that had something this elaborate, and certainly nothing with the University of Texas in Austin. We're letting everybody start from the beginning, and so it starts with this school year, and we're going to work through, you know, each group and certainly try to target and find those people that have perfect attendance, and using, you know, different criteria at different points in the year for how we measure that. So it's the first year, it's the baseline year, and we might find some interesting things compared to last year, but pretty much, you know, we're letting everybody be able to start from scratch and know that we will reward them in real time for improving their attendance and certainly those who have perfect attendance. Health and fitness is a huge part of this program. Tracy Lunoff, who's our administrator who leads our health and physical education work here in the district, can outline for you all of those details. And actually Coach Mabe was another person who kind of worked hand in hand with us in thinking through the health and wellness piece. But it's focused a lot on, you know, healthy eating, exercising, and ensuring things like we call in education brain breaks and things of that sort for both students and adults. So that's part of it, and when we look at some of the ways to enhance the criteria for rewarding or recognizing staff, those are things that we want to try to include in it.
Thanks, guys.